Hello and welcome back to House of Astralis. My name is Kayla and today I will be your guide as we look into your Aries season. Of course, as this is a general reading, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. This will also be a timeless reading for any Aries season that you are in. We have two piles here. Pile 1 with the theme of 10 karmic completion, the Egyptian tarot, and then pile 2 with the theme of manifestation and the wiser tarot. So as the sun shifts into Aries at the spring equinox, this starts the new zodiacal year, and it's this fiery cardinal energy that bursts into the scene, our life, with momentum and passion and a call to action. Things are really waking up now. It's springtime, things are buzzing, and you may even be feeling your own body want to be out more. And I think I said in another video, I'm in SoCal and it's been hot. It's been almost 100 degrees and we're still in March. February was really hot too. So I've been feeling it. I've been waking up, getting warmed up for the rest of the spring and the summer. Aries season specifically encourages us to move boldly towards what excites us without fear of trial and error. Springtime is a season of beginnings, fresh projects, daring choices, and the courage to step outside of comfort zones. This will be a season when energy runs high and initiative is rewarded. But with that, there's also a caveat because Aries also teaches us the importance of pacing and direction. Otherwise, that fire can burn out too quickly. You overindulge, you overdo it, and the point of Aries is not to burn for the sake of burning. Embrace this season as an opportunity to channel courage into meaningful pursuits, focusing on the path that truly ignites your spirit. It's time to be outgoing, adventurous, and energetic. Don't let the impulsivity of Aries hinder your success and your initiative. There's a difference between impulsivity and really just going for it because deep down you know it is for you. Make sure to not necessarily second guess your actions, but really check in with yourself first and make sure that's the step you would like to take. So with that, again, two piles here. I'll give you a quick second to look at the cards and see which pile is calling to you. Hello, pile 1. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to read for you. I'm excited specifically for this pile because I have not read with this deck before, so this will be my first time. Very fun, very exciting, very Aries, initiation and new beginnings, trying something new with courage. I asked for the theme of your season and did get 10 karmic completion, which I do find fascinating because it's Aries. Again, we are in the beginning. We're completing a whole cycle already, and now it's time to leave that behind, really take the lessons you've learned and move forward. I also want to flip over the crystal wisdom off the bat just to see what wisdom is in for us before we get to the cards. First up, we've got obsidian. Release negativity, protect your spirit with grounding energy. And black tourmaline. Protect your energy, create a shield against negativity. Okay, so two crystals that are saying essentially the same thing. You need to protect your energy. Ground, set up some protections around you. This can look however it does for you and your system, especially at the end of a cycle and when we're completing something and wanting to start something new. There can be some residual energies here, and the story that's coming in for me is you need to protect your new start, your new cycle. So that can look like many things, cord cutting or whatever you have to do to let the past be in the past and let that complete and not bring it forth with you, because you're going to taint your new beginning if you bring in all of the residuals and bring in the stuff that you already left behind. So once it's done, it's done. Don't drag it into your next cycle because that can hinder this new beginning and that can make the cycle repeat itself instead of starting anew. So that's for someone there. Alrighty, first up we have got the King of Swords. So as the sword came out and as it's the king, of course this is severity, severing things that don't work for you, and really speaking up and being loud and clear about that, and not letting people dismiss your word, because the king ultimately makes the rules, right? The king sets it in stone. Using your words and your ideologies to really move forward and take that first step. Whatever first step this looks like for you, this is asking you to portray your inner king of swords. Using your intellect, your words, and communication, writing. A story I'm getting here is to literally write. If you've been waiting to take the first step, write it. I even got drawn back to the crystal cards here, because if you want to write a spell or incantation or a prayer, or just write down your feelings, write down things that you've completed, maybe burn them, release them somehow, surround them with the obsidian and black tourmaline so that they can soak up all of that negative energy, whatever you're leaving behind, and let you be free. So it's like freeing yourself. Cut off your ties to the negativity, to your old cycle. That's the first step, is to actually commit to it. Next, we've got the Magician. Okay, this is literally it. The Magician says you can do this. You have the power. So use your energy, use your manifestation skills and your magic in order to fuel this new beginning for yourself. To feel, literally, I was gonna say new beginning, and it's number one. So yeah, feel this new way of being, this new cycle. The Magician here. I think this is supposed to be the Hermes Trismegistus, so that even draws us back to the swords again. Hermes, and just using your words, your voice to create your reality. I love when the Magician shows up. Honestly. Another one beginning. And then we've got the Fool. This is a joke. This is a joke. We've got the Fool. So in this completion and this ending and beginnings, you've got the Fool. You have the ending and the beginning of the tarot. This is a chance for you to really just, like Aries, step forward with boldness and confidence and take that initiative. Even when it looks scary, know that you can go for it. Aries is adventurous, and the Fool is going on an adventure. The Fool does not know what will happen, but is trusting in themselves and trusting yourself and your power, your magic here. Just go for it. Don't let your previous cycles, which is depicted as this alligator or crocodile, to bring you back. Face it head on and move forward. Go into the next cycle. Stop getting stuck in the loop that you've been in. So it's almost like channeling, having to channel your passion with the Magician into taking this step with the Fool and having no expectations and being open to whatever this new beginning will look like. Not having rigid expectations, at least. And just being open to it. Aries, if we think of as like the first in the zodiac, or at least in the astrological year, it's like the baby. It's a very courageous and fiery, confident baby, but it's the first step. So it's like having to be the first one and take that on. Kind of like a role model for other people. And I suppose that draws us back to the king, because the king is a role model, modeling what he wants his kingdom to be. We've got the Six of Pentacles, and that's saying to step up in this role of exchanging and being someone others can rely on, while also not being overburdened. Again, with the Aries and being too destructive with the fire, causing burnout, you have to be careful to make sure that you're giving and exchanging. It's not only one-sided. And with the King of Swords here, I heard consulting. So maybe sharing your voice, helping others in that sense, sharing the knowledge that you have, written form maybe, and overall just making sure to surround yourself with people who support you. I heard as well that's not typically a Six of Pentacles meaning, but that's what came through, especially right on top of obsidian. Protect your spirit with grounding energy, so that's even grounding as well, the earth element, making sure that you can ground what you say and your ideas and put them out there with reason and with a way to come across as not scattered. Kind of how all six of these pentacles are just neat and in place and not scattered all over, just letting chaos ensue. So with that, how can you step into this new role with confidence? We've got the Five of Pentacles, and of course this can talk about isolation, but I'm seeing to not isolate and ask others for help. Ask others who want to do what you do, or ask others who they have an idea. Learn from someone else so that you can manifest your reality instead of not knowing anything and then expecting it to flourish, which is possible. But if you want to really learn, I don't know, like in depth about something, then go to someone, learn instead of seeking isolation. Don't isolate yourself trying to figure it all out. Like, there's help all around you. Going back to the Six of Pentacles, there's that exchange of flow here, an exchange of commerce and knowledge and wisdom. So going to others can help you and get out of a lack mindset. Clearly, the Magician and the Fool here are telling you that you can do this, and it's a great step forward. So don't let the fear and your old cycle and old way of doing things get in the way of you really being great and stepping up and showing up for yourself and for others. And lastly, pile 1, I wanted to do some astro dice. So essentially, whatever house Aries is in your chart will be amplified. But I also wanted to do the dice just in case you either don't know what house Aries is in, or just to see if there's another house that will be heightened during this time, something for you to look at. Maybe more specifically in this karmic completion. That's showing up as a 6. So the 6th house is the house of bad fortune. Mars loves to be here, which honestly is very fitting that we're in Aries season. Mars rules Aries. So typically this house talks about illness, injury, hard work, slavery, especially wage slavery in modern times, and service, like the military service. But generally it's also just your health, wellness, your work and your duty, your everyday routines, and your pets. So this might be heightened here. And with 10 karmic completion, it looks like something in the 6th house is ending. Something is coming to a close. And with it being a karmic completion, this most likely is already something you are aware of, because it should probably be obvious just in your day-to-day life, I would assume. But yeah, so definitely something ending here to start a new beginning. And with that, pile 1, thank you so much for being here again. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you have to do, whatever you feel like doing. The interaction really helps so much. So thank you, and I can't wait to read for you again next time, and I'll either see you in my next pile or my next reading. Hello and welcome, pile 2, to your reading. You chose the 8 manifestation card, so I intended that for the theme of your Aries season, which honestly very fitting. It's taking the initiative. It's being able to go after what you want and therefore manifesting that. And I wanted to take a look at the 2 crystals first, and honestly very fitting. We've got Tanzanite, open yourself up to spiritual growth, embrace higher knowledge, and Iolite, navigate your inner joy, find your true north. So I think that's really amazing, because it's being able to open yourself up spiritually. And Aries may not seem like the most spiritual sign that there is, but Aries is able to give you that initiation and the courage and confidence to go for it and just try new things, explore. So I think that's very important. And for me personally, Aries is in my 9th house in my natal chart. So this is the house of what they call God, or like spirituality, religious study, higher education, philosophy, seeking, expansion, like all of that stuff. Your world beliefs are in there. And I think that was important for me to kind of either say out loud or just acknowledge how spiritual growth can be in or with or affected by a fire sign, especially Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter. So that in itself is the expansion and wanting to find the wisdom, to be playful and to learn. And just because baby Aries has a reputation for being what I would call a meathead, it can also be very spiritual. And obviously for pile 2, it looks like it's going that way. So before we get into the cards, I wanted to do the astro dice just to see, in addition to whatever house Aries is in for you, see what other house may be highlighted for you at this time, see where this manifestation is coming in. And that's the 4th house. So The fourth house is your home, your roots, your family life, and your parents and your ancestry, but also your inner self and like the privateness. I don't know if I already said that. Things you hide and maybe not want to tell other people. So with this, it's manifesting maybe getting a new house, manifesting moving, and manifesting the place you want to live, and also manifesting betterness in your family, I would say. Maybe just being able to open yourself up to your ancestors and navigating family lines and bringing about something better for your lineage. And first up, we have got the Four of Wands, and this is the first step of being able to go for it without waiting for permission. This is that Aries coming in to say, go for it. And so this is 4. And you can see that the 4, it's like them coming home, or this is more so maybe an initiation, which is, I'm also getting, that spiritual growth. Being initiatory and taking the first steps. If there is something that you want, it's really just being able to say, you know what, I'm going for it. And this can be in matters that relate to your stability or to your home. Maybe even just partnerships and being able to celebrate with other people and being able to have someone to go on this journey with you or with yourself. These can also just be different aspects of the same person. So taking the first step into initiating something and initiating what stability looks like for you, what and where you would like to be. Your home, again, if you want to move, take that first step. And then we've got the Fool. I love this. The first pile also got the Fool. But this is being able to use your energy to fuel a new beginning. Being able just to be open, no expectations, and trusting that the initiations that you are going for and the new steps that you would like to take are being made by you. No one can do it for you, so you have to do it yourself. Use this energy of the sun in Aries, in a fire sign, giving you warmth and strength and courage to do the scary things. Being able to talk yourself into that first step in order to manifest what you want. And then we've got the Five of Pentacles. Very interesting because the first pile also got this card, different positions. But being able to make sure to stay grounded in some way. And that's the thing about Aries, right? You don't want to just go gung-ho and the fire and not really think about your consequences, but to make sure that you have a steady-ish foundation, or at least, let's say, funds to have in your back pocket. And maybe even just be okay with the fact that if this is your dream, you might have to struggle a little bit, but in the sense that you're struggling for now, for gain in the future. Because you may not have a family who's mega rich and can just give you loans, and you don't have to worry about, where the funds are coming from or where you're going to eat. But here it's also making sure that you ask for guidance, making sure to consolidate with someone, even if that's just yourself or your spirituality and your intuition about the next steps and how to go from where you are to where you would like to be. Because you are not alone. And even if you have to struggle a little bit to enter this Four of Wands, that's totally fine too. And there's 2 people here. It's like going from nothing to something with someone, even if that's yourself. And that comes from you being able to change your circumstances. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. So if you're choosing to stay where you are now, you're actively not choosing to have your Four of Wands experience, and you're not choosing the Fool and the new courage. You're choosing to stay in the Five of Pentacles. Next, we've got the Nine of Wands, and this is to really make sure to stop letting your fears get to you. It's always that, right? It's always when you think you've got it, it's the but what if, or yeah, but it's always the little things that come in and try to get you scared to take this first step. And that's because you have to work on that. I mean, obviously, but you have to work on that within your own self so that you don't keep self-sabotaging and that you can be open to this new initiatory experience. You're being called to look at what fears are keeping you up and what will keep you tied down and to the Five of Pentacles. And you know, this is kind of reminding me of the dark night of the soul. And when you grow spiritually and you're finding your inner journey, trying to find yourself, you will have to come across tests. Maybe that test where you are at, test your mental agility to not fall back into the same patterns. But with the power of yourself and really what you want, you can manifest, like, no, I'm changing things. I'm no longer going to be stuck in this Nine of Swords. I'm going to change it, and I am choosing this other story. And the Nine of Swords isn't inherently wrong or bad. You know, it really doesn't have us face things and get clear with where we're at in our life, our fears, and how to overcome them. What happens is if you stay stuck there, that's when you cannot complete the cycle and the story, and you have to really will yourself to get out of that. And we've got the moon here, so the moon may also cause some sort of fear or uncertainty, but it's being able to step forward despite that. Step forward and walk this path even though you don't know where it'll lead or what is along the path. A personal experience for me, this card showed up at a time when it was, how are you going to react? Are you going to react in a scared, maybe even primal way, or the way I was, I don't want to say trained, but the way I always have been? Or can I choose a different story, a different version of myself, and react a different way? Crawl out of the water, you know, despite where I was comfortable. And it's really reflecting back to you. I think that's part of what the swords are too. The swords and the water, they both have a reflection. And if we were just to take our hands away from our eyes and really truly want to look deep within ourselves, we can take that inner journey and figure out what the mess is, what's going on back there, and choose to change it. And we, of course, have a choice. We don't have to do that. But the story and the fears may keep coming back, and that's when it'll keep happening until you choose differently, I suppose, or choose a different way to live your life. How are you going to manifest your life? Are you going to manifest it with a fear? Are you going to manifest it with your intuition? Are you going to manifest it with what society wants you to do and being rigid in a certain way? Or are you going to manifest it in a way that allows you to be a new version of yourself? Grow spiritually. And, you know, I don't know if it's a misconception or just because you do grow and you do the inner work and you seem to be more spiritually enlightened, whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't mean you will not encounter these fears ever again. It's maybe not as constant or not as hard to get through them because you are more aware of them, but you will still face them because you will always be able to make your choice about staying where you would like to be or reverting back into how it was in the dark, the gloom, instead of the brightness over here. A spiritual journey does have its ups and downs. It's never going to be all light and sunshine and the Fool. Sometimes you will feel like you're in a dark night, you know, and maybe you are or will be, but it's being able to find your light after that and being able to have the courage with Aries and being able to step out despite the hardships. So with that, pile 2, it looks like Aries season might kick off something for you. And I would recommend taking a look at where Aries is in your chart, because that will let you know what Saturn is doing there, and Saturn is going to be there until 2028, I believe. So there's lots of lessons and things going on in that chart, in that area of your chart, that may give you a hint about what's going on here and what lessons you have to learn before the manifestations come, because Saturn will give you gifts. Saturn loves to give you the gifts, but you have to learn the lessons and integrate them first before you receive those gifts. So it may feel very hard, but ultimately you have the chance to be the Fool and just take a chance. Take a chance. Aries is on your side with this. Aries wants to try something new and be adventurous. So with that, pile 2, this was your reading. Thank you so much for being here and giving me the time and space to read for you. Please make sure to interact with this video as it does help, and I appreciate you tons in advance. And I can't wait to read for you again next time.